Hello everyone, this is Vexyvampire, and today I will be responding to a tag video that was done from my friend and also a follower leader of the gaming YouTube, Facebook gaming community is Dan Van Dam. And my 5 random gaming facts of me, sure I have so many, was kind of hard to pick or to try to storm off in my head and think about which ones what would be good to say. But my first one is that how I came across of getting my very first gaming console that I actually owned, and that was actually a Christmas gift. So I got a Sega Genesis when I was around 8 years old, and I remember being very happy to firstly own my very first console. And the Sega Genesis at the time was from my grandmother and grandfather on my mother's side, which my mammy and my pappy. And I was just so ecstatic to get my Sega Genesis when I was a little girl around that age with my brother. I think it would belong to me and my brother, but in general I tend to use the console more. And with that came, I think, Sonic 2, which was pretty cool because, hey, the older Sonic games were really fun. And yeah, I was just really happy. I don't know if I have a picture of it, but if ever I do find it, it was cool. It was at my very first house that I was living at when I was a little, in the basement, and it was cool because I used to have a really big basement and I could play and then there was the TV, so put the Sega together and stuff. So it was really nice. So I got Sonic, and then later on was Mortal Kombat 3 and NBA Jam and stuff. But I didn't own physically a lot of Sega games, but I had video stores that I constantly went to. So I would rent Valis and YS, but on the Sega Genesis, Comic Zone, some other RPGs. But I really loved Valis, the SYD one, which was really cool. And I would rent Shining Force and Fantasy Star games, and it was awesome. I just really loved going to the video store, and next to the video store was the dollar store, so I used to go get candy and stuff or little things, and it was awesome playing Sega games and all that stuff and going to get treats. And as I grew up, yeah, so pretty much. So I still have that Sega Genesis remaining today, and yeah, I'm happy. Just need to get some more games for it. My second random gaming fact about me is my Nintendo 64 story. Now, back when I think it was my first communion, I was able to get some money aside to buy a Nintendo 64 because I really just wanted a Nintendo 64. Those commercials were appealing in some weird way, but it's just also the games that were coming out on it, like Mario 64 and Mario 64, Zelda. What other good classics? We had a lot of good RPGs on there, so Tactical Ogre 64, Quest 64, all the 64 you can get. So it was hilarious. But there was a lot of good games, and I recall that with my first communion money, I was able to get a Nintendo 64, and I was yeah, my parents weren't too keen on them. My parents were never too keen. I think mostly my mother overall because of the, gaming and consoles and stuff. And, it's not good for your children, or, oh my god, you won't go outside much, or something like that. But I got it, and I got the bundle pack. I think I got a bundle pack or something, and I got it with the. I think I used to have the purple one at first, but then yeah. So you got it with the Mario 64, and I think I rented some other games. So many good games on Nintendo 64. And yeah, I got it. But the problem is that I would play with it a lot, and who wouldn't? Seriously, it was awesome. But I don't think it was because I played with it a lot. It's because I think either my parents weren't too keen on me having it, and so, and also my brother wanted to like use it a lot, but I didn't want to always share it, and because it was mine and I wanted to play, like, you know. So basically, I don't know. I think it was mostly because my parents were never too keen on the idea, so and they returned it, and I was super sad, like super bummed out. I think they somehow made it up to me a little bit, but like I was like, no, you took my Nintendo 64 away. It's like my precious to me, before Lord of the Rings came out then. But yeah, it was like I was so bummed out. This like 10 years old or whatever girl, and they're like, no, it's Nintendo 64. I still had my Sega that I could go rent games or play games at friends' houses and other stuff, but still, but yeah. And so the weirdest thing is that after all that happened, I went to, like, a year later, uh I would always usually like to like feel up the Christmas gifts, like not necessarily like always shake them, but like try to figure out what I'm getting. And I felt it was a box, and it was a big box, and I'm like, wait, is this gonna be a console or something else? And it's like my little child mind's like, huh. But I still have that picture, but I got a Nintendo 64 back with my brother. So my parents must have gave in to this and see how, oh, well, they've been good little boy and girl to get the Nintendo 64 back and stuff. And I still have that Nintendo 64, but I gave it, I made my brother keep it because he doesn't have really much gaming systems. And so I have the Sega. He kept the Nintendo 64 for now, but I still have my original Nintendo 64 with some cartridge of games. But if not, I have a Nintendo 64 here as well for my boyfriend with golden cartridges of Zelda and some other game. But yeah, that was funny. I have the picture of me. You just see a huge smile on my face. I'll have to show that one day. A huge smile on my face holding up the Nintendo 64 box with my brother. It was priceless, and that was at like my really nice big house I was living on at the time, and oh my god, the memories with that. But yeah, that was pretty awesome. So my third random gaming fact about me is about my favorite Sega games, the one that touched my heart that I still kind of can't stop going back to replay them. And those are big time is Phantasy Star 4 and Shining Force 1 and 2, because those are like the particular games. Is as I grew up and I didn't have much console systems right away, is that those games, whenever I was sick or was feeling down or something, I would always go back to those particular Sega Genesis games to play them, because the story really was touching and made me feel like evolve and into the story, and I love the music. So it was just something that inspired me to like just, listen to music and play draw and play video games and stuff, and it would cheer me up. I even wrote like stories and fan fiction, so it gave me those creative side skills, so I really love those. I think one of my things I repeated. So yeah, I really just really like that. So those were my particular things I would always be into. For another random fact about me is PC experience with gaming. So I never officially owned a PC until like later on, but like The only PC I got to use was the one my father had at one point for like his band and his music and stuff. But with PC gaming is that I used to have a friend that I used to be like really close at the time. I used to have a best friend, and at her place, PC gaming was like totally all there, and console gaming was totally all there because her father worked in computer repairs with PC stuff, and they were all like kind of like in the country, and she had like PC, her brother and everyone had a PC, so everyone was really PC savvy and like PC gamer, like between her older brother and her. And yeah, it was really cool because whenever I would go there, I would get totally in like warped into playing computer games. It was just, even so, like would be really fun. Like I found a lot of good games, and then I remember at the times where I didn't have Sims right away, is that I got a copy of it, and I would play the original Sims, and it was so cool. And then I play like other particular things like Septeria Core and or other games like shooters on the computer and like older MMOs slightly. But I was like in between grade 4 to grade 6, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. I love PC gaming. And it was always hard to get my parents to try to give me a computer, which I had to rely on me getting a PC later on. But whenever I would be able to go on my dad's computer, I would, they'll have time limits sometimes, which I hated, but I was able to sometimes play Subterra Core or Diablo 2 or StarCraft and some other games. If not, when I was old enough, going to gamer cafes was really the thing. And when I got my own laptop and then computer later on. So yeah, those were like really good times, and I really love that. It's too bad I'm not friends with that particular person anymore, but those were good times, and I can never forget those because of all the sleepovers, gaming nights. Um, we even played some other games sometimes we couldn't own, but like playing like the older Final Fantasies on an emulator and other stuff. It was fun. It was very fun. I miss those days. And what's something else I could say? Because one of my things I kind of like repeated it while writing, um, is that more so in the gaming, like I'll say in the gaming stuff, is that there was one thing I could say is that when I was around, I think 8 years old or a little older, it was the same. I think it was before the 32-bit Sega, but like the 16-bit Sega. My cousins, when they had my older cousins, when they had a smaller house with my uncle and aunt, um, I really liked how the house was, but in the basement, it was kind of like you go downstairs. It's like this huge like section where it's divided, and then it goes into the living room. The living room was a good size. It was those older living rooms in Italian houses, and what's happened is that it was a good size um, room, and it was like kind of like the bedroom downstairs for my cousins, so Anthony and Steven. And what we used to do is when we used to go over, and if we would sleep over, we would watch like Ninja Turtles movies, the older ones, and play Sega Genesis. And they had the 16-bit one, and what we did is we made a blanket fort. So we would gather up chairs and also, sorry, I'm like kind of partially sick here. We gather up like chairs and blankets, and goes from putting up the chairs with the near the beds and the big TV. You know those old school like big TVs with the wood frame all around it. It's kind of like those Italian style TVs, and it was just really cool because we made like a really high little blanket fort. So you go inside, it's all dark. You got the glare of the TV. You got your popcorn or your pizza and stuff, and you're just playing some safe games like Sonic and some other cool games. And it was awesome watching Ninja Turtles. Oh, it was just really awesome. I actually really wanted to redo something like the SIG, like a blanket fort. I thought it'd still be cool, you know, kind of like a camping in a tent sort of thing. And those were really good memories, and I love to share those. And I have a lot of kind of good experience throughout growing up. Certain stories that still touch me today, and sometimes that I wish I can relive those experiences. Anyways, those are my 5 random gaming facts about me. If you ever want to know more, please let me know. And I will tag people for this video as well. So the people I think, and I think in my friends I would like to tag, are my friends from beer and video games, and my friend mdmax, which is Michael, and also I like to tag Erika szabo, and also I like to tag Dragon Lagoon, and also I like to tag Gamer Logic and Custody Games. So, beer and video games, most of you already know, is my friends who do a lot more streaming on Twitch. And, like, you know, as I say, they drink beer on a certain particular day. They'll review some beer and a particular video game. And other times they'll do, like, Let's Plays on the Fridays. And sometimes they'll do special events, like horror games or podcasts and stuff. So, yeah. And Mad Max, which is my friend Michael, does mostly Let's Plays with commentary, and sometimes he does some other particular videos. He really has a good collection of video games up to date, so if you ever want to check out gameplay videos with commentary and some other stuff, check out his videos. He has a variety through of retro games to like the more modern generation of gaming console games of PS4 and everything. So I think you would like that. Erika szabo is mostly known for her unboxing videos, pickups, and reviews. I would say totally hardcore reviews on like products and video games. But what I find she's been doing mostly lately, so I haven't been able to catch up on all her videos, is she does a lot of reviews on particular anime movies, which are really good stuff that I used to watch. So she does that, and she also has a second channel where she also does stuff on reviews on movies like B-rated movies, experimental kind of movies like Godzilla and all that. And yeah, you know, those are all good stuff. Also, Dragon Lang, which is my friend, she does video from time to time about particular memories about games, her collection, and you know, vlogs and stuff. And yeah, Gamer Logic has been around for quite some time, and he is a variety of retro gaming to modern gaming. He does stuff about particular topics, which he'll ask people, what's your thoughts on these certain things, like what's your thoughts on DLC, what's your thoughts on this. He does like this thing where he plays video games right now with his like a brother or a certain guest, and they'll try to attempt to get through the stage, and yeah, and they'll see how long it takes, and they'll have a certain amount of lives. And he does reviews, unboxings, all kinds of stuff, podcasting. Go check him out. He's a really cool, awesome guy. It's my Mike from Gamer Logic. He also has music he does on the sidelines for fun, and yeah. Custody Games is my friend Kyle. I tend to watch his stuff once in a while. It's really hard to keep track of a lot of YouTubers. And Custody Games is my friend Kyle, who does like some Let's Play videos of him playing games and, you know, just commentary, so reaction. or he does co-op gaming with other people, collaborating with other people, and it's kind of funny when they're playing Gary's mod and some other stuff. And it's sometimes funny just watching him alone being really shit scared in his pants while playing some horror games, or just sometimes the commentary on the side of the humor. So yeah, that is Custody Games. So yeah, this is my video. I'm sorry I didn't come on camera. I'm not really feeling good, but hopefully that will all become more better soon, and I can come back on cam for certain things. So thank you for listening. Bye bye. Let's go for it. Let's do this. Oh, it's time to fight. I'm sorry, but I can't let you go any further. Really? D or... Here, we'll go with mouse. Ooh, nice. I love it. Nice. I'm sure you could use a controller with this at one point. You have to do better than that. Oh my god, the music's awesome. Okay, let's go for this. Cross that bridge. Installation battle commencing. You know, this is what he wants as well. Sure, you're like to think that. You won't listen? Cold based, how very creative. Hey, I got fire attacks. Nice. I need some action. Weak to the heat, how surprised. Surprising. The visuals are